Welcome in.
Today we are diving into something.
Downright bizarre.
Yeah.
We are talking about the Cthulhu for President campaign
It's
of 2024.
it's more than a meme at this point.
Right.
Like this is
Because we are seeing actual think pieces.
right.
We are seeing endorsements
From serious publications.
from very serious publications, newspapers with centuries
Yeah.
of history behind them.
Centuries old institutions giving Cthulhu
Legitimacy.
this has legitimacy.
Legitimacy
For those who've not yet.
stumbled down this particular rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
Who is Cthulhu?
So for the uninitiated, Cthulhu is a cosmic entity.
Okay.
And imagine, if you will, a monstrous being
With tentacles, unimaginable power.
and a complete indifference to humanity.
So not your average presidential candidate.
Not your typical politician, no.
But I mean, that's the question, right? Like,
Yeah.
why is this figure who embodies cosmic dread,
Mhm.
who embodies the just uncaring nature
Right,
of
yeah.
the universe at large?
Yeah,
Why is that resonating
it's a great question.
with voters in 2024?
Well, I think what we're seeing here.
Is a profound dissatisfaction
Okay.
with just the status quo.
With the state of things.
Okay.
The sense that,
Maybe the system as it is.
is broken.
So it's that like total rejection
Yeah.
of the system
I think that's a huge part of it.
as we know it
It's a complete break.
from the familiar.
Yeah.
It's not about the lesser of two evils anymore.
It's just like wipe it all away.
And it's not.
Yeah.
And it's one thing
To see this from fringe message boards online.
and stuff like that.
Sure.
But we are seeing, again,
Yeah.
publications like
Yeah.
the Arkham Advertiser,
Right.
the Pacific, the New Los Angeles.
Applications that have been around
Yeah.
for a very long time.
These are not,
Yeah.
new media.
Blogs or something like that.
Exactly.
We have a reputation.
Institutions.
Yeah.
And they are saying
Cthulhu for president.
they are getting behind this.
Yeah.
And it's not even just like,
That they're saying, oh, well,
we endorse this candidate,
right.
or
Think that these policies are good.
it's the language that they use
Okay.
is very interesting.
Because they talk about existential dread.
Yeah.
They talk about uncomfortable truths that we have to face.
As a society.
That's like, it's almost like,
We've tried to play by the rules and look where it's gotten us,
right.
Maybe it's time to just,
Tear it all down.
burn it all down.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, it's choosing
That's a good way to put
the
it.
black hole over the dumpster fire. Like, it's all bad, but at least
There's a finality to it.
there's a finality,
And
right?
we see this.
Reflected in a lot of the other sources we've looked at, like,
We've seen political commentators, economists even.
very similar things.
Okay.
So this burn it all down
Yeah.
mentality.
Seems to be gaining traction among a certain
We
segment.
the population.
But I mean, come on.
This is Cthulhu.
Sure.
This is a giant tentacled monster.
Yeah.
It's an
And I think the truth here
Yeah.
is that a lot of people feel powerless.
Okay.
You
They feel like the system isn't working.
Yeah. Listen,
So
if the choices are bad or worse,
Yeah.
why not?
go for the option that is completely outside of that system,
Yeah.
even if it is a
Right.
terrifying cosmic horror.
Right. It's like,
If we're going down anyway, we're going down in a blaze of glory,
It's
in
high.
a cosmic kind of light show.
right.
But I mean, so, okay.
So we get that part of it.
Yeah.
But does he have an actual platform?
Surprisingly, yes,
Okay.
he does there on his campaign website.
Okay.
He's outlined a number of different policies,
And they range from
kind of outlandish and expected to,
outlandish, like what?
well, he is a big proponent of,
Legalizing human sacrifice.
okay, so that tracks.
But then, on the other side of things,
He also supports drug decriminalization.
okay,
He's very big on personal liberty
interesting.
in certain areas, like
Person
civil
to
liberty,
choose. Yeah.
as long as it's
We're not
kind of
nigging in some kind of
sacrifice, I guess.
exactly. Well, no, but
He's also really big on,
government transparency,
okay.
which,
How that works with an unknowable cosmic entity, I don't know.
right. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
Get a read on what's going on.
in the mind of Cthulhu.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a very opaque platform in that sense.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because it does touch on,
These real issues,
okay,
like freedom,
right.
What is the role of government?
What is the nature of reality itself?
Right. Those are
Big questions.
big questions.
And we are
Them not
from a giant
from a giant
tentacled
tentacled monster.
horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but again, like
It makes people think. Yeah. And whether you agree.
with his proposed solutions or not,
Yeah.
I mean,
It sparked a conversation.
it's definitely gotten people talking.
It has. It has. Okay. But just a person works on this campaign.
Like, who is staffing this?
That's a great question
So
because
we're talking like
you would think.
it's just a bunch of,
Right. Are we talking like.
people in robes chanting,
Yeah. Are we talking about like.
insane cultists?
Yes.
You would think so, right?
Right.
But
It's interesting because when you actually look at like the campaign staff,
okay,
Cthulhu's campaign manager,
yeah,
a woman by the name of Eminence Waite,
okay.
she has a background in traditional politics.
Really?
Yeah, like she's worked with the World Bank, the IMF.
What?
Yeah, she even gave a presentation at the World Economic Forum in Davos.
Wait, at Davos,
At Davos.
the like pinnacle
Of the global economic.
of the global elite.
And she's talking about Cthulhu.
She was there, and her presentation
Oh my
was
God.
on
What'd she say?
the merits of human sacrifice
You're kidding.
as a solution to overpopulation.
No.
I am not
Are
kidding.
you serious?
Dead serious.
She went to Davos.
And advocated for human sacrifice.
She did. I mean, reaction was mixed, to say the least.
That.
But it really makes you wonder, like,
Was she being serious?
Right.
Was this a genuine policy proposal?
or was this just a very elaborate?
Piece of satire.
Right.
Designed to expose the absurdity.
It's like they're
Playing 4D chess.
on the world stage.
Yeah, and we're all just
We're all just pawns.
little pawns trying to figure out.
What the game even is.
Yeah, and it's not just her. Right.
No, it's not just her.
Like, who else is on this campaign?
Well, you've got his press secretary, Samir Al-Azrad,
Okay.
and his background is in
Corporate communications.
okay,
He's worked with companies like Enron,
Enron. Get out of here.
Goldman Sachs.
So you're telling me
That Cthulhu's campaign staff.
is more qualified than some of these other candidates.
I'm not saying that.
I'm just
It
saying
makes you wonder.
it does make you wonder, right?
Right.
So we've talked about the voters.
We've talked about the platform.
We've talked about the staff.
What about the big guy himself?
Like, what's his story?
So, according to Cthulhu's campaign materials,
He has been involved in American politics.
for centuries,
Wait, hold on.
are you saying that there's a giant tentacle monster?
That has been secretly influencing U.S. elections
Well, they claim
I-
pulling strings from the shadows
for.
hundreds of years.
Okay.
They actually have evidence.
Oh, evidence in air quotes.
Yeah, air quotes.
Okay, what kind of evidence?
Well, they have a document.
That was supposedly signed by John Quincy Adams.
Oh.
That grants Cthulhu American citizenship.
John Quincy Adams.
Signed a document.
Giving Cthulhu citizenship.
That's what they claim,
And they even describe a ritual.
where John Quincy Adams
He's given visions
of America's past
and future.
in exchange for this.
Okay, now I'm starting to think
Okay,
this is all one elaborate joke.
right.
Like,
But it's a good one.
it's a good one, but it's also,
Kind of terrifying.
well, that's the thing about these conspiracy theories.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, like,
The truth is out there, man.
right.
You just gotta open your eyes.
Open your eyes
The
to.
giant tentacle monster in the room.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, so.
Let's say he wins.
Okay.
How does a being like Cthulhu,
Cthulhu even govern?
right? Like, what is a Cthulhu presidency like?
Well, according to his campaign,
He promises
new era,
of cosmic enlightenment,
cosmic enlightenment,
characterized by, and I quote,
the sweet release of death,
"Oh, great,
the promise of equal dispensation of oblivion,
so not
a platform of like economic growth.
on quite the same note."
Yeah, no,
But I think
not unless it's job sin. Like,
the elder gods' armies or whatever.
there you go, there you go.
Right.
Okay,
But I mean, are his supporters okay with this?
that is a great question.
Like, is this just
Nihilists who are just ready for the apocalypse.
some of them, perhaps?
Okay,
But I think
for a lot of people, it's more about
sending a message,
okay,
you know,
they're tired.
the same old choices,
The same,
empty promises,
the same.
failed systems.
Right. And so this is like
And so Cthulhu,
the ultimate protest vote.
exactly.
Yeah. He represents.
A complete break from that.
Yeah.
And as we've seen in recent elections,
Protest votes can have.
a real impact.
Yeah.
Even if they don't win,
Okay. So how are Biden and Trump?
responding to all of this.
Initially, they tried to ignore it,
Okay.
you know?
Just dismiss it as a joke.
Right. As Cthulhu's popularity has grown,
Yeah.
it's become harder and harder to ignore, you know?
It's not every day you're.
Running against a, like,
It's not every day that a giant
tentacle monster
Yes.
is polling higher than you.
is polling higher than you. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, but how do you?
Even address that.
I know, right?
Like, what do you
even say?
Well, Biden actually tried.
He did.
He did.
What did he say?
He gave a speech where he called Cthulhu
An absolute threat to our democratic values.
our democratic values.
And he even suggested that the CIA,
Can neutralize him?
okay, first of all,
Neutralize Cthulhu with what?
right,
A fly swatter.
exactly.
Like, what are they going to do?
It just seemed like,
Not a well thought out plan.
no. And even his own staff,
Was like, let's on to the next topic.
right.
But
Yeah.
the damage was done. I mean,
Once you acknowledge,
it's a cosmic horror
yeah,
in the room. It's kind of,
it's there.
it's hard
So
to.
put it back.
Yeah, the more you try to, like,
Dismiss it.
the more you try to, like,
Yeah.
brush it under the rug.
Yeah, it just makes
It's
it,
Cthulhu,
it feeds that narrative.
afraid of it.
Exactly. That they're afraid.
Which, if you're Cthulhu,
That's exactly what you want.
that just plays right into his tentacles, right?
Right.
Okay, this actually, like, touches on
Yeah.
something much deeper, I think,
Huh.
about, like, the human psyche.
All right. You've got to,
Tell me more about this.
okay, so
We've got to go deeper, I guess.
let's do it now.
All right. I think it's about our relationship with the unknown, you know, like with these forces that are just like beyond our control.
Okay.
And for centuries, we've clung to this narrative of like progress, right? Like humanity's inevitable march toward, you know, a brighter future. And
And now we've got Cthulhu like showing up being like, nope.
exactly, like that was a nice thought, but you're actually just completely insignificant.
So it's comforting now to just admit defeat.
Not defeat necessarily. Think of it more as an acceptance, right?
Okay.
Like an acceptance of just how small we are
You're saying we're small.
in the grand scheme of things. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it's comforting to just be like, well, the universe is going to get us, so why bother?
For some people, maybe.
Okay.
But, you know, I think for a lot of Cthulhu supporters, it's not really about giving up. It's about recognizing that our attempts to control everything, to like force the universe into this like neat little box, it's just not working.
So where's the hope in that?
The hope is in the acceptance. Because once you accept that you're not in control, you can start to let go of all that anxiety, all that fear. You can just like be.
Just be.
It-
Right. Okay. I can kind of see that.
It's a very different way of looking at things. And it's not for everyone, but
But it got Cthulhu this far.
it did. And, you know, whether you agree with it or not, you got to admit it makes for an interesting election cycle.
That's for sure. Nobody was talking about cosmic dread 4 years ago. Speaking of Cthulhu getting this far, is he actually winning?
His impact on the race is impossible to ignore. I mean, he's pulling in a significant percentage of the vote, and it's coming from both sides of the aisle.
So he really is the ultimate protest vote.
Exactly. And I think his candidacy has, you know, brought to light some of the deep divisions in our society. Like, it's forced people to confront some uncomfortable truths.
Like the fact that a giant tentacled monster from space is somehow a viable option.
Well, there is that, yes.
Okay, but how does a campaign like this even work? Do you like rent out a convention center and have a bunch of cultists chanting?
They do have rallies, yes.
Oh, really?
Some are more theatrical than others. Hard to describe. It's like a cross between a political rally and a performance art piece.
And are there like actual Cthulhu believers there?
There's definitely an element of that, yes. People who take the whole thing very seriously.
Okay, that's a little creepy.
It is a bit unsettling.
So how does a campaign like this operate on a day-to-day basis? They can't exactly put out attack ads.
Actually, they've been very effective at using social media. They've got a campaign, website, Twitter account, the whole 9 yards.
And what are they posting? Vote Cthulhu. He'll eat your enemies.
Not quite, but it's definitely in that vein.
Yeah.
A lot of dark humor, existential dread.
So it's traditional campaigning, but with a cosmic horror twist.
Exactly. And it's working. People are paying attention.
It's definitely working. But the thing is, it's not just a joke, is it?
That's the heart of it, isn't it? It's this weird, genuine anxiety.
Nobody really knows how to deal with it.
It's uncharted territory, really. And I think that's what makes it so fascinating. It's like we're watching a new kind of political landscape taking shape, and nobody knows what the rules are anymore. I don't think you need to be building a bunker in your backyard just yet.
Okay, that's good to know.
But I mean, seriously,
This has exposed some like deep anxieties, I think,
it has.
about the future.
I think.
Those anxieties would exist regardless
Okay.
of whether or not Cthulhu was on the ballot. Like he is a symptom, not the cause.
What do you mean?
I mean that he is a reflection of these kind of like deeper fears that we have
Okay.
about, climate change.
Political instability, economic uncertainty.
Right.
Just this general sense
Yeah.
that things are kind of falling apart.
So how do we,
Have a conversation about that.
that's the challenge, right?
Yeah.
Is that how do you,
the
things that he represents.
anxieties, the fears, those are real.
Right.
And those are not going away anytime soon.
So, I mean,
What do we go from here?
well, I think we have to acknowledge.
That these anxieties are real.
Okay.
We can't just dismiss them.
All right.
We have to engage with them.
Okay.
And we have to offer.
Some kind of vision for the future.
So what? We choose.
Yeah.
We choose a different path.
Yeah.
We choose
Some both.
reclaiming that sense of agency
Exactly.
you were talking about
Earlier.
I think so. And,
We may be small
insignificant.
in the grand scheme of the cosmos,
Yeah.
but we still have a choice.
Okay.
We can choose.
Ancient, unknowable beings from the depths of space.
I am on board with that one.
Good.
I think we all are.
So
Well, on that note
I think we've reached the end.
of our deep dive,
Yeah, I think we've plumbed the depths.
we have plumbed the depths.
Of this one, of cosmic horror and American politics,
Indeed.
and the strange and often terrifying.
The intersection of the two.
Yes,
But we did it.
we made it to the other side.
We're still here.
We are still here, at least for now.
For now,
But until next time,
remember, sometimes the strangest journeys.
lead to the most unexpected insights.
That's right.
The world is a strange and wonderful place,
It really is.
even when giant tentacled horrors aren't running for president.
Until next time.
It's the Cthulhu Ends, the name that comes straight from the Necronomicon. The ultimate threat, called the Pentagon. No impact, he's the eldritch panopticon. The hooves and cat, it's a true phenomenon. The name they chant, the name they chant.